Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Opposite Saxes. We're glad you're here. Aren't we glad you're here?
Did you forget what you were going to say? I'm thrilled. I was like being here
Can't you
Thursday.
tell she's really thrilled?
I am.
No, we are very happy.
thrilled.
And it's fun every once in a while when we bump into people or we get emails or texts or something from people that say, really enjoyed your show last week. That makes us feel good. And if you do watch one of the shows, feel free to drop a comment in or click the little thumbs up button or a like button or something like that and let us know. We really do appreciate that.
We do.
And also what we really do appreciate too is our sponsorship. And we are sponsored by one of our very, very dear friends, Christine Dean.
She has a new picture.
And this is a new picture that we have for her because we've always told you about setting up your websites and all, but Christine can do so much more for you and for your business. And all she can help you with your advertising strategies, help you build your audiences. I mean, she can even help you set up a podcast if you want. So you could be doing podcasts just like we do. She's very, very multi-talented. We just really love her to pieces. And she is a great asset to this show.
Wow, that's a great picture.
We
Great ad.
Yep,
I love it.
That's a nice one.
I love it.
She's a pretty lady.
She is.
And we like her. Well, I threw out the idea of what don't we do enough of? And the first thing Lauren said is, we can't talk about that on the show. And I said, you can talk about whatever you want on the show. What are you talking about? And she's saying, what are you talking about? So
Eating?
we'll leave it to your imagination as to what the first response was from Lauren about what don't we do enough of. But I would say
I'll tell you what we don't do enough of.
What?
Do you want them in any certain order?
No. No,
Dance.
Dance, we don't do enough dancing. We don't go out dancing. Although I'm not so sure there's that many places around here to go dancing. But
I mean just dancing in the house. You know, when sometimes I'll put on Pandora while I'm cleaning or whatever, or Alexa, and I'll try and rope Stuart into dancing at one of our favorite songs.
And you're like a scene from Working Girl with Melanie Griffith when she's cleaning the house and dancing around to the music.
That would be me.
That would be
and you're in the middle of something, or you're just not in the mood. You don't like dancing as much.
But yeah, and this is probably true for a lot of the people that are following this show. Every once in a while, there's one of those songs that comes on.
A toe tapper.
Well, it could be a toe tapper. It could be a slow song. Like every once in a while, My Girl comes on, and that's a song that we've been attached to for decades, and also might stop and we might dance. Some of the old disco songs come up, and
Bee Gees.
We try to see if we still got the stuff.
The Bee Gees.
You know, get back into our groove.
Yeah, no, dancing would be high up there.
Yeah, you're probably right. We don't do enough of dancing. The one that I thought of was that we don't sit out on the patio as often as I would like to. You know, there's a lot of other people that find it very comforting at the end of the day, pour a glass of wine and go sit out on the patio and just relax and have a glass of wine for 15, 20 minutes, whatever. And we've been working on our backyard and our patio for a while, putting in new landscaping and got a nice table with an awning, an umbrella, I mean.
The backyard will never look like South Florida.
Well, unless you
will never have an ocean.
Well, unless you paint a seashore on the fence. If you were to get a muralist to come in and paint
even then
the Atlantic Ocean on our back fence, and you might feel like you're in South Florida. But just to when there's a breeze out there and there's some birds in the trees, and to just sit out on the patio, we don't do enough of that. And going along with the same thing on the patio, we don't use our grill enough.
Use our grill. I thought you did. I thought you.
How many times do we grill in a month?
Once.
I rest
I
my-
didn't think you wanted to do any more than once.
I
Mark.
arrest my case,
You
Your
want to
Honor.
do more? Hey,
I would.
go
We're,
for
we're
it.
into the spring and approaching
Fine
the
with me.
summer, and before it gets to be 105 degrees out there,
Fine.
and you don't want to, but we don't grill enough, and
Mhm.
we still talk about when we go to a restaurant
Mhm.
and we get a nice steak, or we get so, and we order the grilled vegetables, and you say, "Oh, these are so good. We should do this at home." We talk about it, and I mean, it's not just unique to us. I think that
Oh yeah, it's
um,
much easier to put a package of frozen vegetables or vegetables on the
for
stove top
five
and
minutes in the
right.
microwave, and you got some nice
or
steamed vegetables.
in a pot with water. It's just a lot
It's
easier.
actually easier in the microwave,
Yeah, it is.
less of a hassle.
Yeah, it is.
Just like your quinoa rice,
Mhm.
90 seconds, boom, it's done. But it's because that's the shortcut to doing things that we used to cook on the stove. We used to bake in the oven, and it would come out really, really good. But there's nothing like a burger or a hot dog on a grill. Something about doing it over
What
charcoal
about fish?
or even a gas grill.
You've only
You-
done fish once or twice.
Yep. We've done some salmon on the grill, and
Mhm.
boy, it does come out a lot
Mhm.
different.
It does.
You can add smoke flavors and things like that to it. But we don't do enough of that. Another thing, now that we're retired, we have been talking about it for a while, and as we don't take day trips or
Why
enough,
would
or
that
go
be?
away on a weekend.
Why do you think that is?
A lot of reasons. Life gets in the way. Sometimes something else is we're doing on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Your volunteer organizations can get in the way. Your podcast can get in. Lots of things get in the way.
Well, that's why we try to do a few shows at a time, and that way maybe break through a little bit. But even there are so many quaint little towns, not cities, but towns
Mhm.
that are within an hour and a half of our house, and we keep talking about going there. One little town is a town of Salina.
Mhm. Well, we've been to
And-
Salina,
We've been to Salina. It took us 6 years
but we made it.
to get to Salina,
made it.
which is all of about 45 minutes from our front
And it
door.
was one square block.
Well, it
shopping.
was a town square.
And that was
But
it.
it was a cute little town square with some unique shops. We ate in a lovely little local restaurant,
Mhm.
and the experience was great. And we said, well, we got to do this more often. And how long was that? A year ago that we
No,
did that?
no, that was about 6 months ago. But
We don't do it enough.
okay, I could be ready in half an
Yeah.
hour. We can go.
Now there are some things, like I would say going to concerts. We used to go to a lot of concerts. We used to go to live plays and all. We don't go to that as much because it has gotten so expensive.
Well, it's gotten expensive. It's gotten crowded. I really don't like the crowds.
COVID put a
Yeah, that
put a
kind of puts a
damper on a
damper on
lot
it
of
for
that.
me. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
don't cruise as much as we used to because of the COVID thing,
And that's
we're not
actually
in an
become
area.
more affordable.
Well, it was. I think it's going back up there.
Yeah.
But we're also not in a cruise area like we were when we were
Well,
in
South
Florida.
Florida, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you were
And that makes a little
cruise
bit of a
heaven.
difference.
The one thing that we have been doing more of, and that's going to the movie theaters.
Well, that's because they're all around you.
Well, but not only that, but they're upgraded. We've got some nice movie theaters around that have these very, very nice reclining, heated seats. We have a tendency to go to a morning or an early afternoon show, and very often we are one of maybe 2 or 3 couples
Mhm.
in the whole theater, which is much better than having to sit in the front row or something for
Mhm.
a show on a Saturday. But they also have, senior days where it's almost half price tickets, and it's becomes very affordable. And you can
Right.
see a first run movie. The most recent one that we highly recommend is Air.
Well,
The story of of the Air Jordan
But
footwear.
they're already talking about that coming on to Netflix or Amazon Prime.
And there's a lot of people, yeah, there's a lot of people that will do that. There were a lot of people that will just say, look, I'm not going to pay whatever the price is to go to the movie theater. I got to get in the car. I got to drive over there. The price of popcorn and soda is too high. A month from now, it'll be streaming on one of the services.
Yeah,
And they're right.
and
But
I kind of resent that, like I resent the concerts. Our nieces went to see
oh, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, and when I
Oh.
found out how expensive they are, and that people just couldn't even get in line to buy tickets on the internet because it was so backed up, and there were people just clamoring and paying whatever it was that they asked for.
And the only way
And
you
I'm
can,
sorry.
you pay high prices,
There is
you
a
end
point.
up watching the whole concert either on a big screen
Right.
TV, or you better have a good set of binoculars if
Right.
you want to actually see Taylor Swift on
And
the
I resent
stage.
it.
Yeah,
I really
well,
do.
I do too. And we don't do enough concert going because of that. Every once in a while, we'll find somebody that's playing at a small, might be a small Main Street type theater that's
Or
been
coffee
converted,
house.
a coffee house or
Yeah.
something like that. And
Yeah.
and folks, trust me, you can spend a lot of money for the big name concerts. But if you just find out your local restaurants or bars or whatever that have a stage and have anything from a solo artist to a trio or something, you can hear some great local music in almost any city or town. And you walk
That's
away saying, that was a great
great
evening.
evening. Yeah, and it's relaxing. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what else don't we do? No,
Oh,
I
don't
mean,
do
'cause
enough.
we keep really busy.
Yeah.
And the
Well-
days go by quick and the hours go by quick, and we always say, oh, we don't have time to do that. When we want to do
Yeah.
something, we look at the calendar. No, I can't do it that week. No, I can't
So
do it
you
that
make
week.
up a plate of food and sit on the couch
So,
and stream a series on TV.
well, you
Which-
do
which is
that, but
okay,
it's just that with our schedules, we're running into things and we just can't get up and leave and go away for 2 days or 3 days. But I think that should be a priority at this point.
Probably don't sleep enough either.
As you're
And we're-
yawning.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I mean, we're not night owls. I mean, we go to bed
No.
fairly early, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's not a real restful night's sleep, and then you get up early.
Or you
we're
have
risers.
days where you're busy and don't have a chance to sit down.
And take a little
Yeah,
nap.
or just even sit. And
Yes.
then the next day you're trying to make up for it. We just have to take it a little easier. And we have to really work at being retired. I think that's it.
So you're saying we don't do enough of
Retirement.
being retired?
We don't retire.
Well, that's
enough.
why I was saying about the
don't
back
retire.
porch. I mean, being retired means sitting on the back porch and listening to the birds and doing absolutely nothing. We don't do nothing.
This is going to
that much.
sound very uppity,
Oh,
but I think I would sit out more on the porch if there were screens on the porch. But to sit outside and swap the mosquitoes,
Whoa.
and see the rabbits eating up the yard, but it's really the mosquitoes. I mean,
well, that's
if-
what citronella is for.
citronella doesn't work like.
Well, you put
Like you
something
think.
out there that's gonna, deter the mosquitoes, or you go out not quite when it's dusk and the mosquitoes are coming
Okay.
out. You go out a little bit earlier when it's cool enough and there's a breeze.
But there's something to be said about a screened-in lanai.
So we don't do enough of sitting out on our patio, and we ain't going to do it until we enclose the patio.
Well, possibly.
That's oh boy.
I told you it was going to sound kind of,
Uppity.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, uppity was a pretty
but I
good.
don't like mosquito bites.
Yeah, that's like saying you'll go camping as long as it's in a Winnebago or an Airstream that's got a full bathroom. with a tub and a shower.
Well, I wasn't taught to go camping. That's not how I was brought up. Blame it
Yeah,
on
so-
my family, on my
Yeah,
parents.
so I'm saying camping and like roughing it in the woods is like a custom designed cabin with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms and everything. And
Well, I've
all
roughed
the
it in the
amenities.
woods with you when you went on your running events.
Once.
No, twice.
Once you
2 or 3 times.
once you slept in the back of a van
And
and you peed in the forest.
right. Or the porta potties.
Well, porta potties you've done before.
And that's no pleasure either, folks.
No.
let me tell you.
No, my favorite one was the ones in Southern Illinois. It was a company that went on the running event, and they would place the porta potties along the way, and it was called Johnny on the Spot. That was the name
That's
of the
cute.
company.
I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
that's cute. But I tried it and I did it.
Just, I don't know why my brain, just like that company that we saw that will come to your house. You talk about the height of laziness. People who have dogs and just let the dogs out in the backyard
Yeah. They
to
kind of-
poop,
Hey.
and then they hire a company that comes in to pick up the poop in their backyard instead of doing it themselves. But there's a local company that we have called Scoop Doggy Dog.
But I'll bet they're doing well.
You know,
There's
I'll
a
bet
business for everybody.
there is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If there's a need for something, somebody's going to start a business. And that, so what are we going to do? What don't we do enough of? Work.
What?
We don't do enough. We don't work. We work
Well, you
occasionally.
do.
We work for the city of Frisco at their convention center.
You're working at your volunteer organizations.
Yes,
You're working with your podcasts.
that's right. And how often am I going to the bank to make a deposit? But hey,
But that's what volunteering is. That's what you elected to do.
that's what retirement's all about.
Yeah, that's what you wanted to do.
So,
And you're doing it, and you're
Yeah.
doing it well.
but there's one thing that we do enough of, and that's just sharing our opinions with each other and with you watching from wherever you are. Hopefully it's in the comfort of your patio, sitting back and just watching us.
And I hope you have screens on your patio. And we may or may not be here next week. We
Yeah.
might go off on a jaunt,
Yeah.
on a day trip.
And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody sends us a note this week and says, here's the name of 2 people that can enclose your patio.
I'll take them and
What's
with
great.
them.
Yeah, we'll report. Lauren will call back and say, hey, we found somebody to enclose our patio. Now we're going to sit out there, instead of once a month, twice a month. So,
Who knows? Maybe we could sleep out there.
oh, right. Yeah, as long as you back up a Winnebago into the backyard.
No, that's fine. We'll chat.
We'll talk about this.
Goodbye.
In other words, it's to be continued.
Right.
Okay.
Bye,
See ya.
everybody.